We are live and streaming. InShalla and Ashe. It's a talented Tuesday. I should say it's a terrific Tuesday, right? Our midsummer dream and the solstice. So we're in the beginning of the cosmic season of Cancer. The moon is online. The energy of what we feels. Can you see the spiraling currents and the water in its bountiful place? The world that's swirling and curling and circulating and spinning. That's kind of the emotional ride, right? So we're kind of riding the currents of the cosmic season, Cancer. Our feelings are literally on stage, feeling the feels, validating the feels. Are they your feels or are they somebody else's? Along with our Sacral Center being online, being activated. So when we are babies, toddlers, you may need to grab your inner whoopee, if you will. That inner child kind of activates from about 6 months old to, I would say, to 2. So with the moon in Aries, another cardinal sign, our emotions may actually feel as if they need a response or to respond. Hello, Tonya. Acting out an emotion, our emotional field. A moon in Aries acts out their emotions, just saying. So it's a day to definitely take that breath and hold that pause. Give some sacred space to our inner child. Being that it's also the summer solstice, be ready for my little video coming out here today, a little later on. But it's actually one of the most sacred days of the year. Really taking time and creating space. Go to your own personal waters and connect with the feelings that you value the most. You know mine: peace, joy, happiness, love, and integrity. If it disrupts my peace, woo, I got to cleanse that area. Connecting to nature, it's like bathing, right? Be authentic, feel the feels, as they may actually bring up some birthing of a new spring. You know, nature houses all of the elementals, the seen and the unseen. All eyes are upon us. So with that, welcome to the Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, a subtle energetic surgeon, if you will, coined by my mentor, my friend, Melodoma Some, the elder, the magical being he is, Ashe, who is now part of the realm of the ancestors. Blessings always. But I do go by the term holistic shaman medium. My intention is to utilize the power of these indigenous technologies, the ways of my elder, Melodoma Some, the elemental realms, the original blueprint, our divine blueprint, to navigate our soul's harmonic through the realm of the elements and into the imaginal realm, the elemental highway, and really so much more. It's where all the cosmic soup is. Through the shamanic portal, the cosmos, subtle energies, elements, elemental beings, and authentically so much more, with offerings, prescriptions, and rituals to really add to your own personal container, the juice, your personal medicine, your inner genius. But my intention truly is heartfelt to merge the wisdom of these indigenous ways so you can gravitate towards your life purpose. Your inner genius, just to navigate those threadings, your personal medicine, the star that I believe we all are, just reintroducing you to that magical being. So your star literally shines brighter. My name again is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. I love it when people are tuning in. But did you find yourself yesterday mastering the forces of an optimistic mindset? Were you able to confirm the memo yesterday? Did that thread come in? So today's energy, I told you it was going to be a critical one, brings our feeling channel to the cosmic round table. Connecting to our feelings is like the holy grail, if you will, of the waves that one surfs upon in life. Bringing magic to our day to manifest our heart's desires, creating the feelings as our main ingredient, an asset to access with streams of grace. So it's as if the universe is committed to this feeling transformation, and it may feel rather different, and different is good. Different is amazing. Unfamiliar is exciting, and your heart knows your feelings may be otherworldly, floating like clouds, pondering. Why? Because feeling juicy feels awkward, it feels otherworldly. So truly take notice of the new feelings that are energetically being recorded in your shaman's portal. You're going to want to remember this feeling today and feel good about it. And if you have yet to high five the optimistic venue, I prefer that corridor. That's awesome, Tonya. And if you have yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel authentically, please do. Again, Tonya D, all things Tonya D. Have you noticed? Hit the bell button so you're notified. Comment and sharing get you a card for your day. That will get you a message to get you on your way. And I just let the cards flip. It's super optimistic that way. It's interesting how they flow on through. So yeah, the algorithm, it echoes out my muses to other people in the galactic universe who also muse about insights of the other world, the world of spirit, source, the beings that are otherworldly, of course, elemental, and so much more. And you could also find me on other social platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and my Musing with Tonya D podcast, which a new one just came out in the corridor. It's all about the Archangel Gabriel. So be sure to tune into that. It may make your well of tears flow. And if your soul wishes to dive on deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my digital library where I have some amazing options and offers to assist you, to guide you. Really, I am your shamanic assistant. I see things otherworldly. You truly are your own healer. I just want to open your eyes to a different perspective. And with that, a couple announcements. Besides uncovering secrets of the other world, Secret 2022 is the code if you want to join that immersion. If you are new to my show, I have a monthly meditation circle the first Sunday of the month. And yes, it's July 3rd, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. That's usually when it is, 10 a.m. Mountain. You can register at tonyad.tv. And again, with my Musing with Tonya D podcast, that should have arrived in your inbox. The Angelic Being of Cancer, Gabrielle. Subscribe to my Musing newsletter, and you too will have that in your inbox as well. But being that we have our Sacral Center online for the entire season of Cancer, the moon in Aries today, which is also curious, 2 cardinal signs, the birth of the cosmic seasons, and being the first day of Cancer, the season, we have our energetic boundaries, emotional boundaries. You may have joined my immersion, Rising of the Origins. If you have, I did chat about emotional boundaries on day 5, protecting our feelings. That really is the frequency of today, along with our shaman's portal. These two are in alignment, both water signs as well. The shaman's portal, at least for me, it's fluid, it's space, it's time, it's mystical, it's magical, it's imaginal, if you will. And again, if you wish to dive deeper, change your stars. That's going to be on the high tides, going out to sea as well. But this is a day of space. It's space and the galaxy, the universe, where space and time, we have these unlimited possibilities. Unlimited. There's no limitations. Things manifest in space and time. So we are in the space of our feelings, being aware of our boundaries, where the feelings begin and where our feelings may end, and protecting them from harm, our inner world and into our outer world, setting the foundation. Oftentimes we are our own worst sabotager, sabotaging ourselves, right? The inner critic, our inner world, the things we say to ourselves, and our outer world. And if, again, you did participate in Rising of the Origins, setting the stage, the foundation, defining space and time, and holding space and time in all dimensions. This is space, allowing the universe to create this continuum, the flow, adjusting those cosmic waves and keeping ourselves aware of our own personal placeholder and flicking off, literally, I tell people to flick that shift away, flicking off all the feels that feel less than zero, if you've seen that show. The less than good, the people, the places, the things, and the events that may be trying to rip the board, if you're surfing the waves, literally out from under you. I mean, if you are embodied and you are in your skin, other people's shadows tend to want what you have, and people will try to steal your light, take your joy. It's true. It's the 0 point. It's staying like a Yoda, being centered and removing all of the things they may try to interfere with your starlight. your galactic star, your spaceship. So our environment is a huge space of clearing, cleansing, filtering. It's the lens, and it's going to magnify the amazing or magnify the less than amazing. So people who are often victims of life or victorious in life, you may see these feelings. I had a huge memo myself recently, removing myself from all things that, I just don't allow people to disrupt my peace, my inner joy, my happiness. So these are states of awareness that may become entangled when the forces of adversity show up with many guises, many faces. And usually it's because we're about to do something galactic juicy. So the universe is like, how bad do you really want that juice? We are sheltering our feelings and protecting them today. Honestly, if you have yet to grab the Buttercup meditation, today would literally be the day to stream that, setting the stage for the season of Cancer, giving yourself that space and that time, that sacred space, making it real, energy to matter. Today really is the frequency of the Buttercup meditation. And if you haven't grabbed that yet, or if you wish to, and you have that offer, listen to it today, absolutely, especially if you are between threads. I would listen to it every hour if you're feeling that space to really twerk you a little bit. But with the cosmic highway being the shamanic portal, I'm going to stream in the messages coming in from the oracle of mysticism, the realm of the imaginal, and check out this juicy image. You guys probably don't know my girl, but I don't look this good because of me. I have assistance because I need it. We all do, right? But your options today, we have the Greenman of Fern or a river pathway to choose from. But we're going with the imaginal realm. So while you muse about your options again, we got the Greenman. Who doesn't love a Greenman? I've been searching for a new Greenman. The Fern, and then a river, the crossroads. How are we in the flow? So kind of decide that in chat. Enter which one you're choosing. But before we get there, we have the elemental highway, a Yin Wood Snake of a day. And snakes always remind me of the Jungle Book, the snake, right? And at the hour of the sheep, we're going to have a fire direction, which is the south. We have horse on the month, the hour of the dog, and the snake, that's a directional frame. And then all month long, the month of the horse, with the tiger and the hour of the dog, that's a fire trine. So fire energy is super juicy right now. Just saying out loud. We're in it. But our day is weak. Yin Wood is weak in the season of fire. And we really need some yin water, a bubbling stream, a creek, rain, a mist of rain. We do have the big water on the year, which also assists and helps us out. But energetically, what do we do with the grid? Oh, this is the energy of the day. In Chinese methodology, I look at the elementals to see where a person's balanced or imbalanced to bring them back into their prime directive elementally, energetically, and even in your environment. I play with this for a variety of things, quite frankly. Healing, if people have energetic discourse, I am fire of the water, and I can... No, you don't need to pick this. I'm just talking about the energy of the day, the elements of the day to ground into, because they change, right? So with the energy of today, I would be drinking a lot more water, more than normal, wet earth, moist earth, or metal to ground into that element. And again, if this was a person, I'd be like, how's your water intake? And do you eat a lot of greens? We always want to protect the day master, the energy of the day. And minerals. Minerals would be actually vitally important as well for somebody with this frequency, I myself, right? So this is all about are you in the limelight? Do you communicate? Are your decisions honorable? Do you make honorable decisions? Elemental flow, what's the environment like? In our energy of today, we have we don't have a neighboring talent that comes from the month, but we do have a year talent coming in. An ancestral God, if you will. It's an altruistic God. The concern of the well-being of the others. Empathetic writers. It really goes with the frequency of today. Unrefined though metal, which could be provocative writing, possibly musing ideas. So metal really does bring balance to our chart along with water. Um, so kind of feel into who you should ground into. I do an elemental grounding every morning for myself just to ride the waves. So back to who you chose. We have options again, the Fern, the Greenman, and the river. So if you chose the Greenman, let me go there. You get the child, which is actually kind of curious and always interesting. I like to stay that way. The child, this is our inner child. This is the emotional field. It is our feelings. And the seven is connection to spirit, having a boundary, our divine connection to spirit. So connecting spirit to our inner child and that container in that realm of spirit. So have you ever noticed children? They always have this childlike wonder, the imaginational field. This is our place of creativity and childlike wonder where we literally go back to our childlike self and our inner baby self and kind of flow into that frequency. And children, you know, they're always on their pathway. They're always in joy generally, unless they need a nap. Happiness, curiosity, kind of like the awe, right? They're in the wonder world. Kind of the wonder world. I like that. So fun to watch little kids, really. It's the innocence and watching that and being wise, but yet not so naive, but connecting with our inner child, our inner baby, really reestablishing the flow of our life, taking the path, flowing that correct river, the streams of river, and literally entering heaven, the realms of heaven while on earth, bringing heaven down to earth, being in the world and not of it, of the world not in it. It's kind of that kind of feeling. Just showing us that we can correct our path of action with our life without being punished. The universe doesn't punish us. We usually do that, quite frankly, well for ourselves. But we're kind of setting the stage, setting ourselves free from the conditioning of the suffering, the attachment sometimes, letting go of the attachment. So the child is helping us climb out of the holes, maybe out from under the rug or whatever that looks like for each and every one of us, right? It's all perspective. Just recovering a sense of play of that childlike wonder. So that's the child streaming in. Okay, now we have the Fern. Who chose the Fern? There you are. You get the Andrian cross, which is awesome, right? Which is number 2, which is our feelings. It's the season of Cancer, so this is galactic yummy. The cosmology of the shaman. It's all of the directions in time and space. The physical world, northeast, southwest, the upper, middle, lower worlds, and the ability to literally go into all of these realms through the hole in the center. That's the gateway to the interdimensional. It's this, I would say it's the eye of God, if you will, the eye of the needle into the storm, or not the storm. And we can all go to these places to experience higher states of consciousness and awareness and wisdom and breaking free from linear time, which is frequently, it's the energy of today as well, space-time dimensional. So the message here is being that it's otherworldly, where you may feel as if time has passed and the window of opportunity is closing. So it's like taking the breath and taking the pause. It's not the time to really take the leap, literally. Stay in the pause point for a minute, the 0 point field. It's better to wait until the doors to heaven literally line up again and offer us a more optimistic moment in time and space. So, you know, you may feel like taking the action now, especially because the moon's in Aries. However, if you take that breath and you take that pause, it gives us time and space to know when to act and to return to that inner stillness and know that time and space are fluid. And there's going to be opening up a new door that's actually more beneficial, more favorable at that frequency. And it's always, God's always working. Yes, and what else but yes, and not quite yet. So taking time and space gives us a bigger opportunity, but we're not done yet. So who chose the cosmic river flowing? You get the moon. I love the moon, right? So this is spiritual believing. When we spiritually believe or bring spirit into our beliefs, the belief to spirit on that altar. We then have the ability to manifest love and trust, intuition, the moon, our feelings. And who doesn't live and love by the moon? Did you remember my shirt yesterday? Being that we are in the season of Cancer, the season of Cancer is the moon, right? Ruled by the moon. Blessings to you, Tonya. But have you noticed that all of the cards are actually in alignment with the season of Cancer today? And the moon herself, the goddess, the high priestess, it's the manifestation of progression from darkness to light and circling around us in the galaxy, having a powerful impact on our psyches and just offering us certainty after periods of emptiness and darkness where there is light, always waiting, so we can be reborn into a new phase. And the moon blesses us, washes us, renews us, births us. It's cycles goes through each month, but also has a strong influence on the flowing waters of the earth. The same power affects our human feelings, our emotions, and it mirrors that within us, rising and going back into our unconsciousness. Knowing that the moon spends equal time in the dark as it does in the light of the sun, it really is coming to remind us of the balance, the equilibrium, the fluidity. And maybe we've been too focused on our outer achievements, being productive, maybe we're too social, or maybe we spend too much time hidden from the outer world, not wanting to interact or show our face. So it's a day to meditate on the significance of the cycles of the moon and let the moon guide us gently out of those bottomless depths and float upon the waters, just going back out into the world with our outer expression, connecting with others, just allowing it to help us, makes time for ourselves and our feelings, our essential human feelings and our spiritual needs. So yeah, that's kind of the moon. And you know me, I love by the moon. Okay, and we also have, because no, the universe can't just give me one card or three. This is a collective, the smoky mirrors, kind of like smoking mirrors, right? But this is spiritual belonging. Where does one belong spiritually? Spiritual integrity arrives when we are in a state of being who we are authentically with integrity, doing what we love and feeling the waves. But the smoky mirror, this is really the mystery and the magic of how things come together and also how they fall apart without casualty, if you will, obvious casualty. It's the breakdown to get to the breakthrough. It's the shadow side of our human psyche, a part of ourselves that we often disown. Could be a state of denial, an inability, or a refusal to see the truth, spiritual truths, and just understanding the shadow side of our earthly journey. It requires for us to go deep into the story, into those mysteries, into the shadows, to discover the wound, Chiron, that's preventing us from seeing our authentic truth or seeing the truth in a current situation. The rivers, our fears, expectations, maybe disappointments, unworthiness, all of that, less than zero frequency, maybe clouding our capacity to see the potential, the potentialities, not just within ourselves, but also within others, just showing us things that we don't want as a result of our conditioning, if you will. So these can become even more real only because we are making them. The choice is always ours. The world will hold us accountable for what we see and what we create, or it's the being and the doing to the haves. So can you see through the eyes of truth and faith instead, holding that parameter? It's amazing how the messages actually align with the cosmic realm, the planets, as time and space are fluid during the season of Cancer, or today actually. We're just beginning to innovate our emotional field, energetic boundaries, emotional boundaries, and a higher dimension than we traditionally thought of, otherworldly, just elevating our feelings. We're moving out of those old feel patterns, those old rusts, and anything less than zero spaces. So it's time for self-love, joy, peace, happiness in our day-to-day experiences, experiencing these feelings that are manifesting a feeling of our inner abundance, our inner joy, our inner peace, and allowing us to attract those essences into our life through the universe. So what does it feel like to you to feel abundant? Creating boundaries, giving private, sacred space, time around ourselves, our emotional field, that kind of is the frequency we're frequenting. It's a focus point. So are you the kind of person who shuts off your feelings or shuts down your feelings, maybe shoving them under the rug? You may experience an energetic boundary today, a hiccup. That's what I call them, emotional boundary, where truth is rising to the surface. So it's a great day to be in your observation station and just observe the hidden feelings that are bubbling up through the spring. You know, you may feel ice cold, you may be fiery hot. Either way, it's a great day to take time and space, sitting with our feelings, validating our feelings, and knowing that if we do not give them time and space, or that we never have the time for our feelings, whatever that looks like, it may build up under that cosmic rug. And that could create more anxiety, doubt, shame, blame, nervousness, or even dis-ease, discomfort in our bodies. However, by allowing for time and space and investigating what's brewing in the cosmic soup underneath the surface in the unseen, today our emotional awareness field is going to be a lot easier to access. So having boundaries around our feelings and different areas of our life, feeling our feels, especially during the season of Cancer. But remember, we also have Gabrielle online, so be sure to listen to this season's podcast and take a selfie and tag me as well. So yeah, feeling the feels, that's our journey for the next 30 days. So with the elemental, the season, and the messages, what do you feel to affirm? I would be journaling my emotions today. How are you feeling? And any emotions that you need to cut away from, any that you feel need to be addressed. The moon in Aries may feel a little bit excitable. You may feel like you need to get on the treadmill to move those emotions, go for a hike, get out in nature. Aries is action energy, and we need to move our emotions, take an action to move them. So I would affirm that I am creating emotional boundaries, protecting my inner toddler. And even what would your inner toddler say? My inner toddler is like wanting to ruffle some feathers, just saying. So with all of that, InShalla and Ashe, have an otherworldly day, and I will see you on the other side. Blessings.